The 7 Deadly Mistakes That Inventors Make by Shine Enterprise.
Welcome to your next deadly mistake, ordering units of your invention too early. In this deadly mistake, you're going to find out that there's never really a need for you to ever order units of your invention. You only really need one. You're also going to find out that if you order units of your invention too early, you might well order something which is completely useless to you moving forward in your journey. Right now on screen, I want to show you, you can probably see a picture of the great Tom Schultheis, hailing from Santa Barbara, California, USA. Tom, you can probably see him on the screen. You can also see these things in the background, this invention, the brush up. We're going to focus on this in a second. On the screen right now, you can probably see a little video of Tom's invention. The whole concept behind it, you might have seen it before in other videos that I've done, is that it's a downward-facing cleaning apparatus, something like a floor cleaning apparatus, but it can also clean upwardly, and it can also clean kind of outwardly as well. You can see it's got this kind of fan-shaped top thing. This is a demo version, it's not intended to be a final product, but it's Tom demoing the concept. So let's go back to that picture of Tom. What happened here is that Tom, early on, when he first came up with his idea, it was just a brush that cleaned upwardly, so it didn't have these side parts that come out and engage, can kind of engage the wall at the side. It just had a top bit. Then when he developed his invention a bit and made a basic version, the next step happened where he came up with these side parts. So it wasn't just going upwards, but it was kind of fan-shaped and cleaning outwards. At that point, when he first came up with that, and you can see these in the background in the picture, you can see they're slightly going out, maybe 45 degrees or so. They've got this kind of fan, kind of outwards side. He ordered 300 units of this. Then I think it was within weeks, maybe even days, but within a short amount of time, he made this extra step, which was that his invention would work a lot better if the side parts went all the way to 90 degrees, or in fact went even slightly beyond 90 degrees, which you can hopefully see on your screen right now. And what this means is that when let's say you're cleaning with a kind of hoover, one of those one heads, it can engage the wall all the way down. It can engage toe kicks in kitchens. It can do all of this stuff, and it works a lot better than those 45 degree versions you could see that he first came up with, and which he ordered 300 units of. So what's the result of this? Well, the result is that Tom now cannot really use those versions, those 45 degree versions, for presenting his invention because they're an inferior version. He wants to show the 90 degree or even the just beyond 90 degree version where it can kind of engage as many surfaces as possible. So these 300 units which he's got are pretty much useless to him now. This is what can happen when you order units of your invention before it's fully developed, what I call ordering units too early. But the truth is, as you're about to see, with the inventor's journey, there's never really ever a reason for you to order any units at all. No matter how tempting it is, no matter whether you get a quote for, let's say, a small amount like $1,000 or $2,000 to get 50 units or 100 or 500 units of your invention, it can be tempting to do that, but the truth is, there's no reason ever to do that. It's just a waste of your money. So if we look at the inventor's journey, I'll explain why this is. In the inventor's journey, we've got 2 build steps of your invention. Those 2 build steps are the proof of principle and the prototype. The proof of principle is the first basic version you're going to make. It's going to be as cheap as possible. You can imagine with Tom's invention, he might have literally made something by hand, some kind of sponge or something, and stuck it on top of a floor cleaning apparatus and had to go with it. The reason why the proof of principle is so important is it's the first time the idea inside your head becomes part of the physical, real world. In other words, you're turning an idea, something part of your imagination, into a reality. In my experience, this is a very, very important point. I've seen this throughout with my inventions. I've seen this with surgeons who have come up with inventions which they pictured in their mind originally, and with Tom's as well. When you turn your idea into a physical reality, you find out stuff about it. So for instance, with Tom, he found out when he turned it into a reality that just having it going upwards wasn't good enough. It would be much better if it went outwards as well and became this kind of fan shape, which is now an important part of invention, an important part of his patent protection he's trying to seek. So that's the proof of principle. Now, with the proof of principle, you're only ever going to need one version. It's very important to your build, and also, as I said, can tell you things about patenting your invention, but you're only ever going to need one. Now, if we move on to prototype, the prototype is different from the proof of principle in that what you're going to try to do here is build as close as possible to the actual final product. Let's say if it's a consumer product, we're going to try to get something as close as possible to how it would look on the shop shelf or when someone buys it in the shops and opens up the box and uses it. So we're trying to get as close as possible to the final version as it will sell, or as a licensing company, let's say, would want to sell it on the shop shelf if you're trying to license your idea. And in between the proof of principle step and the prototype step, we've got this bridge step, which is product design. And the product design is where we're going to make that happen and kind of design without spending thousands of dollars on building it. We're going to design this final product, and then we're going to execute that in the prototype. So that's really what your prototype is. Again, with a prototype, you only ever need one. You're never going to need, dozens of these, and it could cost you a lot of money to do that. Even if it doesn't cost you a lot of money, you only need one. The reason for that is after the prototype, we got probably the most exciting, definitely one of the best steps of the inventor's journey, which is trailer video, where we're going to film your prototype in action, 60 to 90 second video. We're maybe going to put background music on this. It's going to be fully scripted, maybe professional voice talent. If you want to record it yourself, I've got a package showing you how to use free software online to do really high quality audio you record yourself. And this video, the trailer video, is the absolute key for you licensing or crowdfunding your invention. If you do a Kickstarter campaign, this trailer video is going to be part of your Kickstarter main campaign video, or Indiegogo, whatever you're using. And also, once you've got this video, it doesn't matter. You might think, well, what if I've only got one of my prototype? What if it gets damaged? Well, it won't matter so much, because once you've got the trailer video, even if your prototype gets lost or damaged, the trailer video still shows it in action. So you've got that locked up. Even if something bad happens to your prototype, you still got the trailer video showing it in action, so you're good to go anyway. So during this journey, you're never ever going to need more than one of your invention. You should never, I can't really ever see a need for you to ever order multiple units of your invention. No matter how tempting it is, be very careful of thinking, maybe I can, and I've seen this, for some reason I see this a lot with US inventors more than any other place. A lot of US inventors think they can cut this whole system right to the end, order multiple units of your invention, and suddenly, because you've got 40 or 100 units of your invention, or 1,000, suddenly it's going to make your invention more likely to sell. It's not. It's going to make it, in some cases, less likely, because it might mean you haven't dedicated the attention you needed to the prototype, where we focused all our energy, all your laser beams, on just this one perfect version of your invention. That's going to be much more powerful for your trailer video, for then licensing and crowdfunding, than having 40 or 100 of what Tom got or what you might get, which is a not fully complete version of your invention. Be very careful of the mentality of thinking I can skip these steps. I can skip steps of the inventor's journey and get to the end without doing these things. So you only need one. All right, so that's the end of this deadly mistake. It's a very quick one. Let's move on to the summary and take a look at what you've learned in this deadly mistake.
There's never a reason during the inventor's journey for you to buy units of your invention. Whether you're aiming to license your invention or bring it to market yourself via crowdfunding, your journey is going to culminate in trailer video, and you only need one high-quality prototype to do that. And if you do buy units of your invention, it's possible they'll become useless in any case as your invention evolves into a better product. So don't buy in units. If you're bringing your invention to market yourself, the first units you'll buy will be when your invention is successfully crowdfunded via Kickstarter or Indiegogo. And before that happens, you'll need the crowdfunding package from Shine to work out exactly how much this will cost, what you should set your funding total at, and to optimize your chances of success.